Heyo, people! All things considered, it was a pretty quiet month. Or so you might think if you read the patch notes. There was a secret hiding. You might know. You might realize by the background footage today, but we'll get there in a bit. Let's go in order. Right off the bat this month, we had an issue with the Dragon Point accumulation again. The RC is back in place, but now instead of resetting too often, it did not reset at all. At least for many players. Both my main and scrub accounts did not reset, but some players in the Discord reported that theirs did. If you're one of the unlucky ones, that means that if you had finished the second round in June, you would unfortunately not be able to get anything for July. This is pretty unfortunate, since the most active players are the ones suffering the most, and I hope it gets addressed. But more importantly, I hope the bar properly resets for August. We'll see soon. One small piece of good news is that on the 18th they did send out compensation for the K that was in the DP bar last month. On the topic of compensation though, they also held 2 surveys in the Discord. One just asking which Eidolons players were interested in getting, and I hope this means we'll be seeing those Eidolons in events or Paragon soon. And the other was just a general survey about various game things, with specific attention landing on the question about server merge. I think most players agree that we'd all love to be on the same server together. And this second survey included a note that players who filled it out will be sent a present. We are still waiting for that, but if you don't want to miss out on future surveys with possible presents, make sure to join in the Discord. The link is on the main website page for the game. Anyway, to game info. Poseidon was released right at the beginning of the month in a Rainbow Paragon that also included her costume. I didn't try for her myself, but it's hard to argue she's not pretty. If you managed to get your hands on her, let me know in the comments if my pre-release review last time was accurate. The next Eidolons we should be getting on our server in August will be Lube and Summer Rachel. Rather than a full review, I'll just hit you with my quick impressions. The Benevolent Ruler Lube is a Flame Element Eidolon with a kit that only really calls for upgrading her first skill to maximize damage, as her second is debuffs that reduce the target's dealt damage. Her archives are crit damage to boss and damage to boss, but it's surprisingly low values for being 3 Eidolon sets. I'd say she's probably slightly less effective than the current best in slot fire Eidolons like Festival Elizabeth, Anubis, or New Year's Queen of Hearts, but still pretty darn good. Definitely not a must-get if you're already set with one of those 3 or a well-rolled fire Eidolon. As for Summer Rachel, she looks to be a top choice in the Storm element. Not that I have him, but even recently released Odin seems to be outclassed by her. She's got elemental buffs to storm damage and storm targets, she's got storm damage taken debuff, and she's got the increased damage taken debuff as well, even without any skill upgrades. Plus her archives are much more easy to obtain Eidolons, all of which spawn in-game, and has main weapon damage. And this is just a little preview for next year, but in Taiwan they got the Summer Guan Yu. Of course, we don't have the normal Guan Yu yet, but the summer version looks like she will be a great damage support ice element Eidolon. Moving along, the actual game updates this month were mostly just costume additions, which I'm skipping over. On the 18th, we had some other small adjustments like the Hero Point Ward adjustment and the World Boss events being closed. The Wishlist Buff event in Navia is also closed, along with the Gaia Party Mode Eidolon Soul Crystal event. The Helonia Summer event will still be up until the 8th of August, so you still have a little longer for that one. What was added and are active now are the following. We have Triple Experience from Mirabelle event, which is specifically for the quests to run solo dungeons, and this is for level 86 to S5 quests. They also updated the Navia co-op event as well, but I really don't have much to say about that, as I don't think anyone participates in it. Maybe someday we should put together a group and try it out. I know there's a chance for non-spawn Eidolon key fragments, but it's once per day, always the same time, and you succeed or fail together, I believe, so without enough participants, you don't get anything worth your time. Anyway, we also have the Eidolon Link event, which is somewhat controversial for players. Some people say that it makes them drop less key fragments, but even though the heart bonding is dropping, in the patch notes they do say Eidolons are doubled, and I've heard anecdotally that some people are feeling like they're getting good rates on fragments from links. Personally, I've been a bit busy taking it easy this week, so I wasn't linking much. Possibly 10 times total? And I've got 1 Eris fragment out of that. Your mileage may vary, of course. Now, if you're after Eidolon fragments, you probably also know about the secret event going on right now. Eidolons are currently at 100% spawn rate in dungeons. There's exceptions. The Demon King instances, the ones with 4 bosses, as well as other worlds are not included, and for some reason, Twilight Forest is also excluded. But otherwise, it's prime time to hunt dungeon spawn Eidolons. We do not know if this is an intentional part of the patch, as the only mention of Eidolons is the link doubling event. But it started on the 18th and it's still going, so get your Eidolons while the getting's good. If it is part of the Eidolon doubling, then we can expect it to last until the 8th of August. Finally, the Nightmare Dungeons in Demeric and Oblitus are still active, if you're the kind of person who is in late game and wants to challenge the serious debuffs they have. Personally, I like to take it a little easier than that, so I have not been. That's about it for the events in July. We are still anticipating the Gren and Guardian patch in August, and if I was the betting sort, I think I'd bet on August 8th. I don't have any secret intel, I just think that if the current events are planned to end then, and the more change-oriented patches are about 3 weeks each, that's a good bet. And if it is that day, I'll be dedicating 11 hours on Sunday, August 11th to see if I can beat the Awakening in even less time than on Stellar Saphir with the reworked Grenadier. In a livestream, of course, so join me if you're interested. And that is all the July Aura Kingdom news, but if you stuck around this long, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that dropped by the livestream for my birthday. The winners of the postcards have been selected, and I ultimately decided to send out all 3 to viewers. They'll be sent out this week. We had a lot of fun, except for the dragon in the well. Oh, and the oddities videos will be continuing next week. I just took a week off for my birthday and hunting all those Eidolon achievements for dungeon spawns. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and catch you next time.